What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? So Jim Bowden of The Athletic came out with 5 trades that he would like to see happen before the start of spring training. If you don't know Jim Bowden, he used to be a general manager in the major leagues. He was not a very good one, but he works for The Athletic now. So I figured, you know what? Let's go check out these trades. Let's go see if they are any good or not. Okay, so here we go. Jim Bowden, 5 trades I'd like to see before opening day, from a Yankees-Rockies blockbuster to a Blue Jays-Reds win-win. So what I did is I went to baseballtradevalues.com. I plugged in all of these players for all of these trades, and we're going to see if these are good trades or not. So let's get to the first one. Yankees-Rockies. Yankees going to be getting Trevor Story, Herman Marquez, and Daniel Bard. Rockies get Deivi Garcia, Jonathan Loaisiga, Gio Urshela, and Miguel Andujar. So let's break this down. Overall, this is not a good trade for the Rockies. So as you can see, going to the Yankees, Daniel Bard had a Cinderella comeback story last year after missing 7 years in the league, showed that he can still be a very good reliever in the major leagues. The value's not crazy high, but he's still going to be a solid reliever. But the big pieces going to the Yankees here would be Herman Marquez and Trevor Story. Herman Marquez has a very good deal going right now. I mean, this guy is still a little ways away until free agency. The guy gets a ton of strikeouts. He's proven that he can pitch in the major leagues. Herman Marquez, in my opinion, one of the more underrated starting pitchers in the league right now, and he's got a ton of value, as you can see. And as for Trevor Story, he is a free agent next year, but kind of like Francisco Lindor, he still holds a good amount of value, even though he is a free agent next season. You can get a package, maybe not quite to the par of the Francisco Lindor trade. Granted, they did have Carrasco in that trade as well, but I think with Trevor Story, you don't even need to put him in some kind of a package like this. Trevor Story, I think you can get a couple of good prospects or younger players on their own, or with Trevor Story just on his own. But for the Rockies here, they're not getting enough here. You're still a ways away on this kind of a deal. I mean, Miguel Andujar, while this guy was second in Rookie of the Year voting not too long ago, the value has really diminished over the last couple of years. While I do like Deivi Garcia, right now he's just coming off of a rookie season in which he was good. And while he is still a very good amount of time away until free agency, the guy, he simply just needs to show more for his value to increase. A good year, yeah, that value could skyrocket, absolutely. But as for right now, this is what it is. Jonathan Loaisiga, I think he can be a really good arm in that bullpen. And then Gio Urshela, their starting third baseman. I don't know. I mean, so I guess if you're getting Trevor Story here, what are you going to be doing with Gleyber Torres? Are you going to move Gleyber Torres over to third in this kind of a deal? I'm not really sure what you're going to be doing here. I don't know. This trade just does not make a lot of sense to me. There's just the Rockies are not getting enough back. I mean, the Yankees are getting Trevor Story back, and Herman Marquez would be great for that rotation. That would just add another arm to that rotation. But what are you going to be doing with Trevor Story and Gleyber Torres? Like, what would you do there? I don't know. I don't like this trade at all. I'm going to give this one a thumbs down. Okay, moving on to proposed trade number 2, Blue Jays and Reds. Blue Jays acquiring Luis Castillo and Jared Solomon. The Reds getting Jordan Groshans and Alek Manoah. Now, during the offseason, I actually thought the Blue Jays would be an awesome team for Luis Castillo to end up on. I thought that would have been really good. That could have really set the Blue Jays apart in that division. Maybe not to the level of the Yankees, but definitely a team that definitely has a bona fide chance at getting a wild card spot. However, this deal, it's way off. I mean, Luis Castillo has one of the highest values in the game right now. A young starting pitcher, a really good starting pitcher, some of the best advanced numbers out there. Luis Castillo is absolutely nasty, and there's a reason why when his name was coming up during the offseason in trade rumors, it was a big deal because Luis Castillo is one of the better young starting pitchers in the game right now. As you can see here, a value of 110.8. That's insane. So while I do like Groshans and Alek Manoah is having a really good spring, I mean, there's a chance we could see Alek Manoah at some point in the major leagues this year. This is just not going to be enough as of right now. Maybe you throw in another prospect like a Simeon Woods Richardson, but even then you're still not very close. I don't know. This is not going to get it done for me. For the Blue Jays, I think this is a win-win. You're getting a really good starting pitcher. They need more starting pitching in that rotation. They need more depth behind Hyun-Jin Ryu. I think that would be awesome. But for the Reds here, they're not getting enough. While you're getting a good shortstop prospect in Groshans and you're getting a good pitching prospect in Manoah, you need a lot more here. I'm sorry, but I mean, you disagree or agree with the values on baseball trade values, but this is very far apart. You definitely need at least a couple of more prospects in this kind of a trade. So overall, I'm going to give this one a thumbs down. Moving on to proposed trade number 3, we have the Cardinals and the Rangers. This is actually a trade, these two teams for the main piece here. I actually did come up with a trade on baseballtradevalues.com at one point this past offseason. Actually got a good amount of upvotes on it, and that's the Cardinals getting Joey Gallo. They would also get Kyle Gibson, and then for the Rangers, they would get Matthew Liberatore, reliever Angel Rondon, and left fielder Tyler O'Neill. Now, this trade is actually not bad. I think this is actually, you're pretty close here. So Jim Bowden, you really swung and missed on the first two there, but on this one, I actually think you're on the right track with this one. Joey Gallo, again, a power hitting outfielder that he would fit really well with what the Cardinals are trying to do. Another just really good bat in that lineup with a Nolan Arenado. I think this would be really good for them. A young outfielder too. I believe he's only 26, 27 at the moment. I mean, you're getting another starting pitcher there. And then for the Rangers, you'd be getting Matthew Liberatore. They could use some more pitching prospects. You're getting a decent outfielder in Tyler O'Neill. He's still pretty young. You're getting a pretty decent relief pitcher. He hasn't seen too much of the major leagues, but still got a lot of talent there, so that could be a good arm for the bullpen. I kind of like this trade. Again, I still think you need a little more. I think the Cardinals maybe another prospect or something like this, because Matthew Liberatore, he's one of the best pitching prospects in the game. Tyler O'Neill is a solid young outfielder. You're getting a pretty good bullpen arm. I think for the Cardinals, you do need maybe just one more piece here, but I think you're pretty close here. So you know what? I'll give this trade a thumbs up. You're on the right track with this one, Jim Bowden. Moving on to number 4, we have my Red Sox and the Pirates. And yeah, as a Red Sox fan, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not like this at all. So for the Red Sox, they would be getting Gregory Polanco and cash. And for the Pirates, you're getting Michael Chavis. So as of right now, without the cash here, the Red Sox are losing this trade a lot. The Pirates would pretty much have to eat all of that contract. So if we go take a look at Gregory Polanco's contract, as of right now, he is on a 5-year, $35 million deal. He has a team option for 22 and 23. So he's definitely under control. But as for Polanco, he did have surgery recently, or he's dealing with some shoulder issues. So I don't know. This past season, this wasn't it for me. I mean, he only hit 153, 7 home runs. But if we go back here, 2019, I mean, again, injury-riddled year. The guy had a pretty decent run from 2016 to 2018. If you go back to 2018, had the 23 home runs, the 81 RBIs. He'll give you some stolen bases too. Decent on base. But I don't know. The last couple of years, I don't know about this one. But I can understand where Bowden is coming from here. So let me actually, if the Pirates were to eat all of that contract, and then they would get a young player, Michael Chavis. So let me actually plug in here. Let's plug in the cash. And then, as you can see, even if they ate all, paid for all of it, you're still a bit away. The Red Sox would need to get more here, in my opinion. Chavis, I still think Chavis has a lot of value. If we go look at Michael Chavis right now, a bit of a bummer of a last season. Again, short season, and you can say the same for Polanco, but Chavis, the guy's only 25 years old. How long? About 30 days from turning 26. But Michael Chavis, this guy's a really good offensive player. I personally think the guy's got a lot of power. He had a pretty good run in 2019 when he first came up. They started to kind of figure him out a little bit towards the end of the year, but the guy overall in 2019, he had 18 home runs, 58 RBIs, and that was over the 95 games. I think Michael Chavis has still a good amount of value. He can move around. He can play different positions. I think Chavis, you can't really give up on him right now if you're the Red Sox. That's just my opinion. He's got a lot of versatility in him, and he still has a really good bat, in my opinion. I just don't see I don't know. I think Chavis has a role on this team as a guy coming off the bench. He can move around. I don't know. I don't think you give up on him right away. I mean, why would you bring in a guy that has had an injury-riddled past couple of years? Even if they did pay for the contract, I don't know. I don't see this one. I don't like it. So, Jim Bowden, I'm sorry. I am giving you a thumbs down. And last but not least, we have the Brewers and the Mariners. We have Kyle Seeger going to the Brewers, and for the Mariners, they're getting Aaron Ashby. So, if we go take a look at this trade, I put in the cash. So you would have to eat a good amount of cash from Seeger if you're the Mariners to be able to get this kind of a prospect from the Brewers. But overall, while I think this is good for the Brewers, I think, they definitely could use some more offense. I think this would be really good. However, I don't see why the Brewers would want to give up, a pitching prospect in Ashby. If we go look at their top prospects right now, he's the number 7 prospect in their system. He's still a bit of ways away, but for the Brewers right now, you don't really have a good farm system. I think you need to keep building on that farm system instead of just giving away talent right now. And sure, Kyle Seeger would definitely help that lineup a lot. I don't hate it, but at the same time, though, I don't know. I don't think they need to be getting rid of prospects at the moment because they don't have a very good farm system at all. For the Mariners, I think it would be good to get out of that contract and get a guy like an Ashby, a pitching prospect. But for the Brewers, I don't know. I'm not really I could see them getting another offensive player like this, but I don't know. I think they need to be holding on to their farm system because, again, it's not very good. I don't think this is the worst, but I guess with me personally, I just wouldn't want to give up the prospects, especially if I have one of the lowest ranked farm systems in the game. So for me personally, I'm going to give this a thumbs down. So overall, Jim Bowden, I'm sorry, man, but I don't know. Out of the 5 trades, only one that I kind of liked. Jim Bowden, man, I don't know. I think you got to do a little better with these trades, my friend. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you like any of these trades? What kind of trades would you want to see happen before spring training? Let me know. But that's all I got for today, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.